Daniel and Eva Green, James Bond and Vesper arrive in Casino Royale. Sailing to Venice, heading down there to join the drag. So this is where Daniel and Eva Green, Vesper, arrive in Venice. They actually pass San Marco Square as they arrive and then end up here, which is a bit of a detour, but never mind, all in the editing. You can clearly see that building when they arrive, and then as the shot pans round here, you can see the fish market, which is where Vesper spots Getler, the quantum agent. And interestingly, if you just turn around here, we end up back at this point at the end of the film, and sat in front of us is a sinking house. So up here, I believe it's either the second or the third one from the right, is the window or balcony where we see Daniel looking over St Mark's Square, which is behind us here. And it's just before he gets a phone call from Em to find out that his partner Vesper Lynn has betrayed him. Just after Daniel gets a call from Em, that used to be the Louis Vuitton shop, which is clearly visible in the background, as is the Chanel shop, which still exists. We then see Daniel running down here in pursuit of Vesper Lynn into St Mark's Square. The shop down there, there's a shop up here before he runs into the square. So the last clip, we see Daniel enter St Mark's Square, but then the editing, bizarrely, and it's all obviously to do with the backdrop and everything, but we next see Daniel enter the square and run through probably this arch here with St Mark's Square in the background there, and he's running across the square towards the bank. So a bit of careful editing, because he's entered the square in that corner and then he then appears from this one, and it's presumably and obviously to pick up the better views of Venice. So Daniel's hotel room, which apparently is just above us, there's a balcony scene where he looks across St Mark's Square. The actual inside of the hotel was filmed in the National Museum of Prague, which doubled for Venice. But he then goes running across the square, he goes backwards and forwards, as I said in the previous video, and probably back again, because he ends up back at this doorway here, which at the time of the film was a bank. He then sees that Vesper's not there and pursues her down the alleyway in the next video. So realising she's not in the bank, Daniel then finds Vesper walking down this path here. You can see the yellow building in the background, but it's actually scaffolded at the moment, unfortunately. So just after Daniel's been to the bank, we see this bridge briefly here, and we see Vesper walk across it. Now the editing would make you believe that it's just next to St Mark's Square, but it's actually about a mile away from there in reality. You see across that bridge from this angle here. So after the scenes in St Mark's Square, we see Vesper walk down here. Daniel is following her. So a very brief scene, but this is where we see Vesper walk into the courtyard. I'm actually walking in a direction of travel, but she arrives down this street here, which you see very briefly. She then enters here. Daniel's obviously following her, and walks into the courtyard, which is round here. When this is supposedly the building site next to a sinking house. So this is the Palazzo Pisani, and this is the scene at the end of Casino Royale. I think Daniel Hard's behind one of these columns here, or maybe in there, and he runs through here with machine gun, and it's where Getler sees Vesper at the end. There. Lovely courtyard, and also used in Moonraker for the fight which Roger had with Chan, which is covered in a separate video. So this area here is the end scene of Casino Royale, and the house directly in front is the sinking house where the end scene is filmed. Obviously you'll notice straight away that it's a different building, and that's because the building in the film was CGI'd, and obviously the sinking house was a film set which was built back